Hello students, good morning. Welcome back to our geography class. Today we are going to discuss a new topic and the name of the topic is population growth and demographic divide. Now this population growth we had discussed little bit on last day. Like I said, you all population growth means the change in the number of the people in a particular area in a between 2 points of time. Today we are going to discuss the components of population growth or the factors. There are two components, natural and induced. Already you all know natural growth rate. We are calculating by the help of the crude birth rate and crude death rate, and induced growth rate we are calculating by the help of immigration and emigration. Immigration means inward migration and emigration means outward migration. Now the factors of population growth. These three, birth rate, death rate and migration, these three are only called the factors of population growth. Birth rate means the total number of the live birth in per thousand people in a year, it's called birth rate. The total number of the death per thousand person in a year, it's called the death rate, and migration means the movement of the people from one place to another place. These three particular thing is considering the factors that affecting the growth of the population of a country. Now the growth can be calculated by the annual growth and the decadal growth. Annual growth means it's the year-wise growth, and decadal growth means the growth that is calculated from the last 10 years. Now annual growth rate of the population of India is 1.64%. This is according to 2011 census. And the decadal growth rate of India's population is 17.64%. That is also according to 2011 census. This growth rate is the actual growth rate between the last 10 years, that is 2001 to 2021. Now down in this box you can see a formula is written, that is the formula how we can calculate the decadal growth rate of population. The meaning of the P2 is the present year population, and the meaning of the P1 is the population of the base year. If you will minus the population of the present year than the population of the base year, and you will divide the whole population by the population of the present year, you will get the decadal growth rate. Now this is the most important topic of this chapter, that is called the demographic divide or the distinct phases of the population growth. From this topic you will get to understand what is the rate of the growth in different period of India. Suppose before 1921 there was a different kind of the growth rate. During 1921 to 51 there is a different kind of the population growth rate. From 51 to 81 there is another type of the population growth rate, and so on. So these different phases are known by different names only. Now see this picture. This is a picture of the demographic divide, or this is a picture of the different phases of India's population growth. The first phase, that is called the stagnant phase or stagnancy period. The second stage, that is 1921 to 1951, that is called the steady growth of population. The third phase that is 1951 to 81, that is growth of population explosion, and the last phase, that is 1981 to till present, that is called the decreasing phase. Now in different phase what was the different characteristics of population we will going to discuss. Now see the first phase. This first phase referred as the stagnant period, as I said, and the period was 1901 to 1921. In this phase, India's population growth rate was low. Even recorded negative growth rate during the period of the 1911 to 1921. In this time, both the birth rate and the death rate were very high. That's why the growth rate is low, because if you will see the birth rate was very high, that means the population is increasing, but side by side, due to poor health facility, due to poor medical facility, illiteracy, and problem regarding the food distribution and basic necessities they were not get, that's why their death rate was so high. That's why you will find in this year population growth rate is very low. That's why this stage is called the stationary stage or the stagnant stage. Now the phase 2 in between 1921 to 1951, and it is referred as a steady population growth stage, because in this time overall improvement in the health and the sanitation throughout the country brought down the mortality rate. Birth rate was high, but the mortality rate was low. The same time, because of the better transport system, communication system, and the public distribution system was also improved, so the birth rate remained high in this time. Due to the high birth rate and low death rate in this time, we can see high growth rate of population. Now the third phase, this is called the decade of the 1951 to 1981. This is the period of the population explosion, and in this period of the population explosion, you will find there is a rapid fall in the mortality, because the medical system was so modern, because the living condition of the people was good in this time. But in this time, the birth rate also very high. The average annual growth rate in this time was 2.2%. In this period after the independence, the development activities introduced by the different governments, by the planning procedures, and this shows a improved living condition of the people. So there was a high natural increase or a high growth rate. Beside this, you will find in this time international migration was there. People migrating from different countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, and it makes the growth rate very high. So this is the phase of the population explosion. Now the last phase, that is the phase 4, that is till 1981 to till present, we are saying this phase showing a decline population growth rate, or this phase is showing a tendency, that is population growth rate is gradually moving down. A downward trend of crude birth rate is held responsible for such population growth. This was the turn affected by the increase in the mean age of the marriage, improved quality of life, particularly education of the females in the country. And because of these reasons, in this time we have shown the tendency that growth rate is decreasing day by day. By this demographic divide, or by these different phases of the population growth of country, we can exactly understand about the economic condition and the social condition of that time of India. And by studying this only, we can understand about the demographic condition of our country. Thank you.